Hassan Pinto Jr.?
I think my play has helped me because one and first and foremost, it allowed me to get an education. So in undergrad, I majored in international business. I minored in Spanish, and it was all with the thought and purpose of being a FIFA executive one day. Um, and I played soccer throughout that whole experience. It was able that made me able to receive scholarship money to go to college, and it also made it able for me to get into grad school. And so I went to one of the top 10 business schools in the U.S. Um, and that really opened my eyes to the opportunity that is out there. But with going to that school, um, I also during that time was able to play at a top 10 school in the U.S. in college. That was a wonderful experience. I started 16 out of 17 games. The only game I did not start, I scored in, which was an awesome experience, and I won MVP of that tournament, which was humbling for me because I was a player growing up that was never first on the team sheet. I was always in the starting 11, but I may have not been the first name in the starting 11. To win that MVP was fantastic. And after that season, I looked at the landscape and I said, if I can start here, I can play professionally. And I wanted to find out where my level was and where the top level it was. And I got there. I figured out that I was an MLS player. I was good enough to do it. I played for DC United against Alianza FC, who were the champions of El Salvador. Um, and after that experience, I wanted to go back to the root of or my original dream, which was to be an executive in soccer, and I'm just now starting that journey. And I'm currently in the advancement department at U.S. Soccer. We raise money for all of U.S. Soccer's initiatives, and it's been a great experience so far.
Mhm. What is the key skill you use now from your time on the field?
I think a key thing I use from the field is communication. So I always tell this story. When I played soccer, professional soccer at Loudoun United, they signed a guy from the Ivory Coast, and he did not speak any English. And so we had to figure out how to communicate defensively, when to press, when to drop, when he had a man on, and him being successful made me more successful because if he did his job, my job was easier on the field. And we came up with a couple French words that I had to learn
Mhm.
that I could tell him and yell out on the field, so he knew when to press, when he knew when to drop, when he knew when to dribble, when I was overlapping. And I think that translates to the corporate workplace because everybody communicates differently. We all speak the same language at US Soccer, which is great, but people have different methods as to how they receive and take information. And so I think soccer has helped in that aspect.
Mhm. Why do the diverse voices matter in soccer leadership today?
I think they matter because, and I'll use my personal experience. We're raising money for different U.S. soccer initiatives. So people may give to refereeing. People may give to, they just want to see the men's national team do well. People give because they want to see expanded youth national team programs. And everybody who gives money to U.S. soccer has a different interest in a different cause and a different tick that makes them want to donate these large amounts of money. Uh, whether that's $100,000 all the way up to our biggest donation was $50 million. So I'm saying that to say that diverse opinions matter because everybody's going to have a different cause that they're advocating for, and my cause and what I want to spread is diversity and access to the game. We do it with the Pinto Football Foundation, um, and I have a voice, and I'm in the room at some of these events, and I can speak to that as a cause to advocate for to help grow the game in the U.S. and expand the player pool and you know create more fans in the game.
Mhm. How do you try to bring that diversity in your work into your work?
I one have a diversity in the workplace because I was a professional player at U.S. Soccer. We have people who played through college, So I bring that aspect to it. I also bring the fact that I'm an African American, and I think I can speak to how we engage African Americans to adopt the game. Everybody talks about, hey, these are the certain avenues our best athletes go in America, and predominantly African Americans go to basketball or football. But I can speak to the perspective of how we get those kids to play soccer, and it's all about awareness. It's all about accessibility to pitches, and I do that every day at work when we're trying to raise money for the federation.
Good. But my next question is gonna be for all of you. How do you support each other as a family in sport?
Um,
Anyone?
from my perspective, we're just a team. I mean, I see the Pinto life is everyone's life. I'm invested in what Melita's doing. I'm invested in what Brianna's doing. I'm invested in what Haas is doing. I'm invested in what Malik is doing. So from a support perspective, each person has a different issue. They have a different strength. They have a different weakness. And so what I'm trying to do and what we're trying to do is really invest in everybody's dream here that's at the table and support them through it because we're actually on that journey with them. So, I'm on that journey with Malik when he had to go from FC Cincinnati after winning a supporters shield and move to Colorado. And we're saying, okay, Malik, we're going to pack up your apartment and we're going to move your stuff to your brother's new apartment in Atlanta because he just took a job